Hey guys, Duke DeLate here for Pickup Daily, and I am driving to Mother's Day with my mother and grandmother and whatever. Everybody lives like hours and hours away, so these drives are fairly long in general. But I wanted to talk to you today about vulnerability and how people sort of use authenticity, vulnerability as tools to get to the next level in their relationships or whatever, but how most guys are kind of missing the point. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about human-to-human interaction, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how to shift vulnerability stuff with leadership and with direction and dominance and all that other stuff that we're supposed to be doing as a masculine presence, and keep a good blend of it for different types of women. So I'm going to talk about all that and a little bit more on this long, extended Mother's Day version of Pickup Daily. All right, so let's ramble a little bit about vulnerability real fast. First off, we throw these words around a lot. We throw vulnerability, authenticity, being honest, being real. We throw those things around a lot in the sort of post pickup artist community, where there's the original, like, okay, let's go out and try what works, and then we're going to say these lines, and these lines have a track record. Okay, that's cool. Canned openers, canned routines, canned whatever. Great, awesome. And we went into NLP, and we went into all the sort of cult dynamics and all those, like, okay, let's manipulate other people's mindsets. Let's put ourselves in the best position mentally. Let's impression manage. Let's create sophisticated social masks, become excellent method actors, and then move forward like that. And that's a great thing too. But as the community sort of evolved, there's like waves of this shit. So some people are like, okay, let's get really authentic, and then some of them are like, no, let's be authentic, but we need to act right beforehand, because if you were just being real, it wouldn't work. And like, so they coming up and down, and as everybody's trying to take each other out in the marketing aspect of it, and they're trying to set themselves apart from each other so that they can build their own tribes and create their own dynamics. Like, I, for instance, really like the NLP manipulative, like, influence other people thing, but I also don't like the ego that goes along with thinking that you can control other people's behavior, right? So I kind of stay away from that, not because it's so scary, because I've seen the powerful shit that some people can do. I mean, if you work with like Michael from Transform Destiny, if you watch like the old Bandler stuff, and then you see like new guys, like, well, I mean, I guess Vince isn't really new, but Vince Lynch, like, and if you watch like Arash, his early stuff, like, they got some real hardcore communication tactics that if you're not learning from them, like, you're an idiot. Like they have some fucking skill sets. But as it moves forward, they teach concepts that can be used for evil and can be used for good, right? I watched Ross Jeffrey speak last year because he was doing a guest speak for my the boot camp that I was interning for. So the attractive man had a relationship with Ross, right? And then so he came, and they fucking, he did 2 hours of speech or whatever. I ran the cameras and all that shit, right? So I watched him speak, and in real life, that guy is fucking amazing. Like he can do things that normal people should not be allowed to do with other people's mind, right? But on the other hand, there's so much hype around him, and he's created this image that is a little disingenuous, right? There's an ego that his, and I'm not sure, maybe he always had it, I don't know, but there's an ego that's attached to being able to, being a very good manipulator, right? There's a thing that says, okay, if I'm going to teach guys how to do this, I have to sell it like, oh my God, be the best manipulator, right? And so there are a lot of dark side guys who come in, and they're not dark side, they're not, because they're, that's something I want to talk about. Let me fucking talk about that real fast. I'm going to ramble a little bit. Well, I guess I've already been rambling, but here's the deal with dark side, right? If you look at Steve Pavlina's work, he had a few really poignant blog posts and a lot of concepts about dark side versus light side, right? Dark workers versus light workers is what he called it. He said that there are some people who were designed, like in the world, they were designed to be evil. Not evil like judge them for their evilness, but evil like other people would not think very good of them, right? Like they are cunning, they are deceivers, they are very good actors, they are like, right? They're like dark workers is what he called them. They're selfish, they're like self-interested, their power is unto them, right? And there are some people who will embody that and create amazing things out of that. You know, people like method actors and stuff they're master deceivers, right? And there's nothing wrong with that in its ability and tool sets per se. Sometimes that stuff gets used to hurt people and create pain in the world in a way that isn't constructive. So, of course, we'll judge that as evil. But a dark worker skill set alone is not really all that. You can't really judge it as good or bad, right? It's similarly, a light worker's, you know, kindness and compassion and selflessness and all this other stuff. They might be designed to do that, and when they try to do dark work, they fucking suck at it. And same thing when dark workers try to be fucking light worker tools, right? You can't really like, read the whole thing on Pavlina's blog, but just as a small primer, like I know guys who are like borderline sociopaths, right? But they still like getting laid, right? And then, so if we teach them something like, oh, strength and compassion and they're like, I don't get it, right? Because that's just not how their brain works. But if you teach them, okay, now you can move this to there and everybody wins, you can manipulate the situation like this, see how you understand, or you see how she responds there, you can fucking retaliate and act right there, and then you can get to the point where everybody gets laid, and everybody has a good time, and then like, oh yeah, of course, I see that, right? I don't respond well to social cues, I don't get I can't emote, feel, I can't empathize, that's the word I was looking for. But when I see these tactical things happen, I can act on them, and everybody still wins, right? So that's kind of an example of the different types of people and how we learn different kinds of things. You can work these tools, whether they're dark worker tools or light worker tools, for good, or for the edification and betterment of everybody around you. You can also do it to destroy people, and I think you should be able to do both, right? When somebody comes into my house and attempts to destroy everything that I've built, my light worker side doesn't want to allow all that to happen because of their humanity, and then pick up pieces when they're done. My light worker side can set boundaries very clearly, and if somebody wants to fight, I can defend myself, right? And you can be pretty. You can have compassion and care for people, but you can also destroy people at the same time when you need to. So that aside, there are a lot of people who want to do the other thing because they're lazy, right? So, for instance, there would be light worker guys who really love compassion, who really love kindness, reaching out, touching people in wonderful ways, right? That's what they love to do, right? But they feel like what they're doing isn't working because they're coming from a place of scarcity. They're coming from a place of neediness. So they want the quick fix trick from the dark worker side, right? So they'll fall for these things. They're like, okay, hypnotize bitches into sucking your dick in 3 minutes, right? Okay, so you learn these lines or whatever in these products, and then they go out and they use them, and lo and behold, they don't work, right? Shocking. But had they been the fucking student of communication, like dark worker fucking manipulator people, like if they were geared like that, they would understand that there's probably some nuances in vocal tonality, in vocal pacing, allow those things to work much better with a higher percentage result. But because they're just lazy light workers, they don't get it. They don't understand why they could fucking manipulate people. They have dissonance in their brain that says, oh, I can't do that because I'm a good human. But that's false. Because what happens is you were looking for the lazy way out, and then you tried this tactic that may or may not work, you don't know, right? But then you didn't go far enough to figure out if it actually works or it doesn't, and why it does and why it doesn't, right? Then you can just throw off all that stuff and be like, okay, I'm not making any progress, but I really wish that worked. It's kind of weird, right? Well, it's not because you're a true dark worker. It's not because you're a person who likes to manipulate people, right? So you can't pull off that kind of stuff because you don't believe that it works. So again, at the core level, you have like a moral or an ethical issue against it, and then so you don't believe that it works, and then it won't work for you. But then you'll use that as an excuse to, no, oh man, everybody's trying to do this thing, and I just want to have it come easy, right? And so then you just sort of like run around in your circles and your stories and excuses, right? And the same thing with fucking dark worker people that try to be good.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.